Hello everyone, this is maybe not an episode. I just thought to drop off this quick video. Is Zapier beating OpenAI in the GPT game now? So for some time, if you're a Zapier user, you've probably noticed lots of changes. And you can see such changes when you look at the Zapier screen. So in the past, we used to have Zaps. It's all about the Zaps and the automations you actually can build on Zapier. Then later they added tables, interfaces, chatbots now, and Canvas. Now, Zaps is the automations. Tables is, as I said, the database. Interface is that forms or even app-like kind of interface that you might have. Chatbots, they made it very easy to take it, build it in Zapier, integrate it with other apps and then deploy it. And then Canvas, where you can basically link these elements that they are providing either in beta or now firm kind of elements into their interface for you to use and build upon. You can link them together in Zaps and automations and at bigger flows. What I stumbled upon now that they have something called the Zapier Central, where I feel all of that might come together. Now it looks like this, as you see on the screen now. So you're creating a bot essentially. So now if you look at it, this is the interface that you get when you go to the central.zapier.com. I'm not sure if everyone gets it. Maybe I'm just one of the lucky ones that got it as a user. I can call myself a super user of Zapier. The way I would describe it, it's a GPT. I've covered in two videos that I will put the link for in the description, GPT builds, and one of them I really focus on trying to create actions through Zapier Actions, which never worked really well. Now they're delivering it to you through the Zapier interface. I don't know where this is going, but definitely it is interesting. So two things you can provide or work with when you're considering to go through the Zapier Central and their bots. Number one, how the bot behaves. So you can see on the screen here, the behavior, and then the data sources. So let's test it quickly. One of the videos I did recently is the obesity probability GPT. I will test it quickly here. I will not go into detail just to see how it works. Maybe in the future, we can cover this in more detail. So let me add a source. It's very limited as of now. So let me go for a Google Sheet. And this is the account. Let me try to find the obesity probability. It's the same one I built the API upon in Zano. So I will add that as a data source. It has information about people, their age, their BMI, height, weight, activity level, all these things. And then let me get a behavior. Let me create a behavior. Let me add a trigger. So basically the trigger is a message to the bot, specific phrase or keyword. So for the specific phrase, I put probability because the GPT I created is basically people asking to get their probability of being obese at a specific age and gender. So that's the trigger through talking to the bot. So I added the trigger, and then the action, let's make it send an email, which we tested in the GPT with Zapier Actions and had lots of errors. And here the action is basically a Gmail, send mail, the connection, the account, basically my account, my email, and then to have AI generate a value for this field as you would do in a GPT kind of training. So, or action development or action setting in the configuration of the GPT. And then even for the CC, have the AI generate the value for this field. So everything is set up by the AI. I'm just here confirming that it has to use my Gmail account to perform this action. So let's add that action. So for the instructions, I have basically told it whenever someone asks for the probability of being underweight, overweight, just basically take their age, take their weight, and create those probability of those different categories of weight. So under, over, normal, and obese, and send it to their email after they provide it. Very generic. This is something we did not do in the GPT because we wanted to always respond in a consistent manner. So we created the logic in the Zano API in the back end, and then we connected the API to the GPT. Here, I'm gonna stress test the brains of the AI that Zapier is dropping now to us all. So let's check how the behavior works and see what we get. Wow. Okay. This is, I think it's smarter than the GPT. I already can see something beyond the GPT. So it analyzed the database. It was really sharp in doing so. And then it's asking me for more information than I put in the instructions because I wanted to make it simple. It took that already from the database that to calculate probabilities, it needs the weight, the height, and then my email address. It missed Having said that, the gender. Just to showcase what they just dropped, Zapier, let me just test it. Later on, we can do a more in-depth kind of analysis for this. So here I'm giving my height, my weight, and then my email as per instructed by the AI. This is not trained yet, so I didn't really train it as you do in a GPT. This is impressive. So it took some time in running, and what I can see here, and by the way, it's called untitled bot because I didn't give it a name. You can name it, but basically, if you look here, it created a code block. You can see a code. So basically, it did the logic by itself. So what I've done in the back end in Zano, it did here. The AI did it for me. And then it executed on it. So it retrieved the data from the database and it sent the email. Now, I got a notification on my mobile and I can see the email here. And basically, it gave me only the probability of being obese based on the height and weight, which is 19.1%. Impressive stuff. I think this has lots of potential. I think this might beat the GPTs unless they do something extraordinary. Not only because it is really smart, but for two specific reasons at least I can articulate and think about now. Number one, it coded the logic for me. From my instructions, from the database, from everything that I've provided, it made some sense of what I might be looking for, and this is what you expect from AI. And then it built it for me and actually executed smoothly without any errors, any issues. Now, if I go back and maybe fix it and feed it more details around my expectation, probably it will operate even better. I somehow skipped the back-end development kind of thing, and I have a working GPT or a bot. And I'm sure at some point, either I can deploy this through interfaces or on a website through their bots function on Zapier website. The other thing is the huge potential when you're talking about Zapier. They have 6,000 apps working and integrating within this platform. Think about what you might be able to do smoothly going forward with this. I think this is big news. Maybe it's not somewhere OpenAI is willing or even thinking about competing, but if it is, definitely Zapier is, at least as of what I see now, will be a big problem for the GPTs and GPT market. I know they are partnering together and probably they will work together towards better outcome of these kind of projects. If I am today using a GPT and I want to develop something maybe solid or more complex, maybe I'll go through the route of working in Zapier rather than GPT if Zapier really puts their weight behind this and they develop it even further. Did you have access, if you're a Zapier user, did you gain access to the Zapier Central? Do you want specific use cases that I shall experiment with using specific apps? Write me a comment in the comment section below. And hey, if you like it, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you very much and goodbye.